Greetings to everyone. Today we would like to present our findings. We have done our research based on the impact of foreign direct investment on economic growth in Asian countries. Now I will pass the presentation to Tricia.
Okay, for this study, the FDI significantly contributes to the economic growth of numerous ASEAN countries, including Japan, China, and India. FDI creates stable long-term economic links and often involve expanding operations to foreign locations. This study aims to examine FDI's impact on economic growth in Asia using GDP per capita in 2021 as an indicator. The objective can be stated as to investigate the variable affecting ASEAN countries' economic growth beside the FDI. The highest GDP for 2021 is Singapore, while the lowest is Afghanistan. Next.
Okay, thank you, Tricia. Now I will present the hypothesis. The null hypothesis is there is no relationship between inflation rate, unemployment rate, exchange rate, and foreign direct investment with economic growth. The alternative hypothesis is there is a relationship between inflation rate, unemployment rate, exchange rate, and foreign direct investment with economic growth. Decision rule. Reject hypothesis, null hypothesis if p-value is larger than positive critical value or smaller than negative critical value. Otherwise, do not reject null hypothesis. Now I will present the methodology. The purpose of the study is to examine the economic growth and foreign direct investment, exchange rate, inflation rate, and unemployment rate in 30 countries. Economic growth as dependent variable, FDI, exchange rate, inflation rate, and unemployment rate as an independent variable. We have used eViews 13 to analyze our data. Test utilized is ordinary least square Jark-Bera, normality test, Durbin-Watson D test, Bruche-Godfrey serial correlation LM test, heteroscedasticity, Ramsey-Reset test, Kusum of square and multicollinearity tests. Now I'll pass the presentation to June.
Our conceptual framework has independent variable which is foreign direct investment that influencing dependent variable economic growth. Besides that, inflation rate, unemployment rate, and exchange rate also considered as their interplay with economic growth to economic outcome. I will pass to the next presentation.
So I will present about the analysis model. So we use 5 analysis model, which are multiple linear regression model, double log model, linear log model, log linear model, and reciprocal model. So for the first multiple linear regression model, this model is represent the linear connection between independent and dependent variables. So the second double log model, this model to interpret both dependent and independent variables that were transformed into logarithmic function. So the third linear log model, this linear log model explains where the dependent variable, which is y, maintain its original form while independent variable x will change into logarithmic variable. So for the fourth log linear model, this model describes about dependent variable in the form of a logarithmic function, while the other independent variable remain in original function. So for the last, it's reciprocal. We added the equation 1 over VAR as a variable in this reciprocal model. So the beta in this function indicates the variation in the inverse of dependent variable with the respect independent variable. Next. So for the diagnostic test, we use normality test, which is Jacob-Vera test. We use Bruche-Godfrey serial correlation LM test to utilize in determine if autocorrelation existed in this model. So the third we use heteroscedasticity test, which is when the variance change in independent variable or when the variance is not consistent. So the null hypothesis cannot be rejected if the p-value exceeds the significant level of 0.05. So next, we use Ramsey-Reset test. It determines whether any significant non-linear combination exists after building a linear regression model. So for the last, we use cumulative sum, or in the short form, CUSUM, for identifying structural alteration involving an arbitrary number of mean break with arbitrary breakpoints. So this diagnostic test we use because the inside the area between two critical lines is at 5 significant level. So this model is stable, but when it goes outside the area between two critical lines, this model is not stable. So I pass to the next presenter.
So for the result and discussion, so the first one is we're going to use a double log and log linear model have smaller standard error and coefficient of variation indicating a better fit. And reciprocal model show low standard error but higher coefficient of variations suggesting instable. So this is a OLS result. The first one is FDI. FDI is significant, and INF, UNE, ER constant. The result is not significant. Next. For model transformation and OLS result, this is a diagnostic test. The first one is normality, autocorrelation, serial correlation, Ramsey reset test, multicollinearity. For discussion, for the model performance, double log and log linear model perform best. Significant variable, FDI significantly impact economic growth. Non-significant variable, INF, UNE, and ER do not significant impact growth. Model is diagnostic test confirm no major issue. And model mispersification is considered issue. Future research address model mystification and explore education economic growth. So I pass the presenter. Next presenter.
Next, I will present the conclusion and recommendation. This study aims to analyze foreign direct investment on economic growth in various Asian countries, utilizing data from the year 2021. Our findings indicate that FDI inflows have a statistically significant positive impact on Malaysia's economic growth. These empirical results underscore that higher levels of FDI are associated with improvement GDP and GDP per capita, suggesting that FDI is catalyzed for economic development. There are few recommendations that are proposed. One is enhanced FDI policy. Tax incentive grants should offer to sectors that are likely to attract potential foreign investment. Next, diversify FDI sources. Countries should actively seek establish investment agreement and partnership with the wider range of countries in order to broadening investment partnerships. Next, focus on human capital development. Investing in education at all levels is fundamental for educational enhancement. Last but not least, strengthen the infrastructure. Moderning transportation infrastructure by investing in it, including roads, railways, ports, and airports, can facilitate smoother logistics and reduce costs for business. That's all from us. Thank you.